Earthlings, and welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Kasey. Today I want to talk about wholeness. You know, I get a lot of messages on my Snapchat, on Instagram, my social media platforms, and there is a lot of sad women. I'm just basically making this video to hopefully guide you to some fulfillment and empower you and support you. I knew that I had a lot to say, so I wrote some stuff down. So if I'm looking down, it's just because I'm looking at my notes. Because my mind is all over the place because I have so much to say, I have to organize my thoughts. So I put a lot of what I wanted to say in my notes. The road to an extraordinary life is a road of growth. And as you guys know, growth involves pain. It can be painful. And you know, the hard parts that no one really talks about. We all know what it feels like to doubt ourselves and to doubt our dreams, to live in fear. We ask ourselves, do I really have what it takes? Am I good enough? You know, social media, Instagram, Pinterest, all we see are pretty pictures. And you know, people nowadays spend so much time on social media and that's what they're seeing, and life is not that. Life is beautiful, but it's also very ugly, mundane, and magical, and everything else in between. You cannot escape your challenges if you're living in your comfort zone. I've spent my whole life living out of my comfort zone up until, you know, a few years ago. And so I know what that feels like, and it's not any kind of way to live. I will never live that way again. And so when I hear stories and messages from you guys, it really breaks my heart, because I'm every single time, whether it's, you know, someone is having a relationship issue, or it's an issue, you know, at their job, or whatever the case, whatever the bump may be in your road, it all comes down to your comfort zone. If you're living in fear and you stay stuck in that comfort zone, you're going to be stuck in pain. So, you know, you have to learn to go for that dream. You have to know you're going to fall, but you got to know how to get back up. Getting back up is really important because, like I said, you're going to fall over and over again. So you probably want to know, okay, what does it take for me to be open? How do I live a life with no fear? How can you do that and enjoy the ride? The ups, the downs, the bumps, and just the hard parts. So this is the foundation, and that is cultivating your wholeness, not the happy, shiny you. It is the whole you. It is the sad you, the angry you, the laughing you, the crying you, the whole you. And to be whole, you must embrace and be love. You must accept your humanness and other people's humanness. Hold people in compassion. Hold yourself in compassion. The whole you is the wise you. The you that's not limited by your personality. It's not limited by your fears or your doubts or your ego. Some call it your higher self. Some call it true self, divine self, soul, whatever it is you want to call it. It's important to tap into that and to feel it, feel into it. Until you tap into your wholeness, you will not grow. Not in a good way, because that is your guidance. That's the part that is growing you, is your soul, whatever you want to call it, divine self. The more you get in tune with that, the more you are aligned, the easier you will get back up when you fall. Whether that be a weight loss journey, your marriage, a job, whatever it is, you have to live in wholeness. And wholeness is basically embracing and accepting the divine you and the human you. And again, if you're not living in a state of wholeness, you are going to feel stuck all of the time. Sense of wholeness is being able to say yes to all of those parts of you. And there's a lot. I have a lot of parts. You have a lot of parts. And that's just, we all have so much to us. And it's a beautiful thing. And it's beautiful to embrace all of those parts. So, you can't beat yourself up for having fear. That comes from being human. We're not perfect. We have weaknesses just as much as we have strengths. And wholeness is knowing that you are all of it, but you are not defined by it. You are not limited by any of it. Wholeness is bringing the whole you to the party, traveling with the whole you. To get to a place of wholeness, you have a lot of forgiving to do, because our human side likes to hold on to the past, likes to hold on to being a victim. It likes to have pity parties. We like to almost stay in the dark. Start with forgiving, whether you have to forgive yourself or you have to forgive someone else. Forgiving and letting go is so important. You need to divorce the stories that you've made up in your head about yourself. And it's letting go of all these stories you've created that no longer serve you. I'm a really huge fan of Brené Brown, and her books were like life-changing for me because she talks a lot about shame resilience. And prior to reading, her books and listening to her audiobooks, I didn't even realize how much shame I was living with. So you gotta be able to find out what you're ashamed of. Do research on yourself and figure out, what you're ashamed of. Figure out the shit that you need to face, the shit that you've shoved in a corner, in that dark corner, and face it and let it go. You use a lot of energy when you stay in the dark. Some people have gotten so comfy just being in the dark because they think that that's all that there is, and there is not. So I just, my hope for you guys, anyone that watches this video, is just to come into the light and to be whole. When you are hard on yourself, be aware and soften up, and do this daily. I know I get a lot of shit about having surgery and stuff, but even after surgery, I still look in the mirror and I'm like, oh my God, like, your stomach is gross, or your thighs touch, or your nose is big. And I have my insecurities, and I'm aware when even though I've had surgery, like, I'm still human and I'm still in my own head. And every single day, I pick myself apart, but I'm aware of it now and I can soften up. So anytime you know when you're being hard with yourself, you feel it. It doesn't feel good. I mentioned this on my Snapchat. We have two options in life, and that is to feel bad or to feel good. I want to feel good, so I recognize and I'm very aware of when I harden up, whether it be with someone else or with myself. And as soon as I feel that like tightening right here in my heart, because I feel it, I'm like, no, soften up. So learn how to soften up. And don't beat yourself up for beating yourself up. You're human. Accept it. Wholeness. And you'll get better. There is no end to this growth. It's a forever, as long as you're breathing type of thing. It never ends. You'll continuously get better as long as you strive to be whole. It's not wrong to be afraid. It's not wrong to feel hurt. And when you feel that, that's when you show yourself love. That's when you give yourself space and allowing and no longer resisting. So I can go on and on about this. I don't want to make this video too long. I wanted to keep it short and simple and just really, touch base on wholeness, because I've talked to some people in Snapchat messages when I respond to their questions, and I talked about wholeness and they're like, wait, what is that? So I really wanted to do this video so it can reach whoever it needs to reach, and I hope that it does some good. So thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, peace.